Hi everyone, Amy Pryor back with you with my second tutorial for the Lily of the Valley kit from Scrap Muse. I'm going to start off with some black cardstock this time, which you've got a sheet of in your kit. This is Card Shop cardstock, again, just like the white, so it's nice, double thick, perfect for mixed media. Won't warp and go pilling and crazy when you add a ton of water, which is what I'm about to do. I've just kind of been playing with the elements, and now I've got all these offcuts. These are the strips of the paper that, I'm not sure if you can see that. They have the barcode and all that stuff. And the other side is usually a pretty strip. So I've taken all those off the patterned papers that come in the kit. There's actually a couple I'm missing because I cut them out in the last video, but that's alright. I've also got the strip from the white Basil Card Shop stock, and I'm going to cut the strip off this black as well. So I'm going to use these strips for my layout, and then I've just kind of cut one of these chipboard grid panels in half, and I'm thinking this is kind of how I'm going to have it laid out. Maybe those flowers, I'm going to focus on the purples and the reds and the blues and the pinks, this one, as well as a couple of black rosebuds to bring that black back into the layout. But I really love using a black background for a page when I have black and white photos that have a black background. I just think it just is beautiful, nice way for them to pop off the page but still look like part of the page. I'm also going to use some of these beads this time, and a couple of these little dewdrops. So we'll put them to the side. I probably won't use all the colours in here. I'll probably just fish out the pink, which will be fun. But we'll see how we go. So first thing first, I've also got my arrow stickers. So I'll probably use a couple of these babies. They're very cute. Probably this pink one, maybe this blue one as well. We'll see how we go. So this layout will be very graphic mixed with floral. So I'm going to use these chipboard titles. I'm not really sure what the title's going to be. It's going to be like something along the lines of "Your eyes, amazing eyes always mesmerize me." I don't know, something like that. I'm just going to move all this to the side to start off with. Get my photos out of the way too, and my strips of paper. So I'm just going to put these aside while I just cut that strip off. It's a bit easier to cut the strip off the black because the white one is very hard to see if you're cutting right. Okay, I'll keep that for my strips of paper that I'll use as well. While I've got my trimmer out, I'm just going to add a couple more strips to my pile. Just want to add a nice variety of the papers. I'm going to use one that I have cut up. One. I would like a couple of thicker strips too, so just a couple of those. And this one. I'll cut the edge off that properly. Side as well. So that should be plenty. Just check that there's no more coloured pieces that I would like to use. As a matter of fact, there is. I just would really love to get colours in this one. So just might, seeing as we've cut these butterflies in half, we may as well use that strip as well. So I'm going to actually fussy cut a lot of these, not a lot, maybe like 3 or 4 of these butterflies, because we've got these beautiful purples and reds and blues in there. So I will do that later. Right now I want to get some paint onto my cardstock. So to start off with, I have taken my strip off this, move everything out of the way, sort of. Now I'm going to add some pink inklings to my background, because I am going to use this as the creamy paint. So I've let the water sit in this for a little while. I'm not going to add gesso to my background because I really want that to just sort of blend in with the black a bit. But if you were going to use it just with the water on your paintbrush while the paint is still hard, you would need to add some gesso, white gesso, to that. I'm just going to put a bit of water in there. Make sure my brush is, oh, it's not clean at all. I have my water tub here I should be using. So we'll wet the paintbrush. Okay, now I'm going to just mix this a bit because it's been sitting, it's separated a tad. And that's just beautiful creaminess. I'm just going to add a little bit more water, just so it's a bit more watered down. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add water to my cardstock. Just going to set that there. So just going to add this. Just want to kind of have this angle of this pink happening. So I'm trying to sort of control this a little bit, but then I'm letting the water pick it up and just move it how it wants to move. I'm just going to add beautiful colour. And just pick some up on my paintbrush and add some little splats. Clean off my paintbrush. So now I've used up all that liquid. I'm going to fill this up ready for next time again. Like I said, this is just something that I do every time I use this paint. These inklings, I just really much prefer them when they're this nice thick creamy paint, as opposed to the really watered down effect that you get just by using it when it's hard. That is completely my personal preference, and I know lots of people that actually hate that. So have a play with them before you actually get out with your layouts, and just yeah, just see how you go with liking the colours or not. If you don't really want the bold colours, then maybe this isn't the way you would want to use them. But these are very pale colours anyway, so, well, for me they are. So I just like to use them as the nice and creamy. So I'll actually put my brush in water this time. Be a good girl. So I'm just going to dry this off now. Okay, so I've got my background relatively how I want it. Just got this beautiful flow of mess. Just kind of is always how my layouts start off looking. Like I said in the previous video, I don't like overthinking anything, and I just kind of splodge it all on and let it go. I'm going to put this to the side now. I'm just going to decorate these chipboard pieces. I'm just going to use some gesso for these. Okay, so I'm just going to let those dry. I'm just going to add a bit of pink to a couple of my strips of paper. I just really want to bring that pink into these layers a bit more. I'll just do these two. And so I'm just going to use the Shimmers Inklings Beats Me. Paintbrush. That up a little, and just a good coat of that on there. Now while I've got the pink paint out, I'm actually going to colour a couple of these small white flowers that we've got in the kit, and also one of these pale pink rosebuds. So they are already a nice pretty pink colour, but I just want them to be a bit darker. To give the layout a bit better. Now with these roses, I'm letting a bit of the white stay. It's a nice contrast to have a bit of the white on the petals. That will absorb a lot into it as well. So I'm just going to dry this paper strips. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of set up how this layout is going to fit with the strips, because I want to cut these down to size and distress them. I'm just going to grab all my paper strips that I've got, and so I'm thinking photos are going to be there and there, so that's probably a good length for the lengthways ones. I might just cut these as I go. A bit longer. Maybe this one will be a bit longer again. Pink. Really chopping off a small amount off the bottom. I'm kind of working out how these layers are going to fit. So I might do one across as well. kind of looking good. Just cut a couple of these. And so this is kind of how the layout's going to work. You can see the grid panels are going to go here and here. This title is going to go across here with a few flowers, flowers. So it's coming together nicely now. I'm just going to distress all the edges of these papers. It is really, really horrible distressing really tiny pieces of paper, but it is really worth it. It looks amazing, especially when you're doing something like this. It's got a lot of different patterns and they're going to be overlapping one another. The best way to do that without having that crazy clash of patterns is to have distressed edges. You could also ink the edges with any colour really. I could do black on the white pieces and white on the black pieces if I wanted to, but I really want to just distress it, and I'll also distress these photos. So I'll do that now and we'll start putting this layout together. Okay, so I have distressed what feels like 100 pieces of strip of paper. Now I am going to stick them all on. I'm just going to use the Expressit 6mm tape. I'm just going to go through and just randomly add these. I want to kind of have some of them crossing over, kind of like cross-hatching like the chipboard. So I'm going to do some this way, then some that way, and then some that way, etc., etc. Okay, so I've got all my strips down and I've got my photos where I want to place them. Maybe that way. No, that way. So I know that my chipboard is dry now. I'm just going to go Now I'm just going to fussy cut some of these butterflies out to use on this layout. I just want to get some nice reds and purples and blues. So okay, so I've got my butterflies cut out. I am thinking I'm just going to leave these white. I'm thinking that I like them. Yes, I'm going to leave those white. What I'm going to do is I'm going to layer some flowers down. I'm going to have them underneath my photos, so I'm not going to stick my photos on yet. And put them to the side. I'm just going to grab my Express It clear glue. Okay, so I've got all my flowers and my butterflies down, so now it's just time to add my photos. I wanted it there. So what I'm going to do, I want these photos to really be the top dimension on this layer, so I'm going to add a fair bit of Express It foam tape to the back of these. So just move this to the side for a sec so you can see what I mean. So I'm just going to add right down the center. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep overlapping this until I've got about 4 layers of foam tape. And one of the easiest ways to do this is just kind of fold it over and snip it. This has got a nice height now. I think I might just add one more layer to each. bring the layout back over, and so I'm just going to stick her on there. And this one about there. Now if you're not happy with this, having these exposed sides, you can of course put more tape underneath those areas. You can just keep folding this until you've got it 4 times. Just little bits in the corner. And there you go. So you've got beautiful photos of just jumping off at you. I don't think I've done them straight, but I never really do. It's a bit better. Now, last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some of this texture paste. This is the Patina Shimmers Textures paste that's from your kit. I'm just going to add, with my finger, add some to all of the tips of the petals. I'm not being fancy, I'm not trying to do this neat. It's supposed to just look really random. Just a little bit, brings those flowers together a bit better. And now we've just got to stick our title. Okay, so I'm just going to place these here somewhere. Okay, so I've just grabbed some of the other papers because I've decided that I want to add a bit more here. I'm not loving how this bit's exposed between the photos and this blank bit. The title's just not going to be enough for me, so I'm going to actually mount the title onto some paper. But I just want to fussy cut one of these and just a couple of pieces from this paper, just to help finish off that layout. So I'm going to distress around these ones that I've cut out before I stick them down. Just want to add this up top here. And what I'm going to do is layer that piece there. Just lift this one up just a little bit so we can get him underneath there a little. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these black. I'm not liking the white anymore, just not enough contrast. I might just colour them in with my food ball. Okay, so I'm just going to let those dry for a sec. They won't take long. That food ball ink is really quick drying. I'm just going to work out my title, the rest of my title, while I let it sit for a sec. So I'm going to use the word amazing in always, obviously. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the title more of a sentence. I'm going to say, your amazing eyes always enchant me. Something like that. Your amazing eyes always enchant. Yeah, that's fine. That sounds good to me. So I'm going to get my letter stickers. So you're amazing. We need your. Okay, so this layout is finished. I just want to, well, it's not finished. I just want to add a couple of these beautiful little pearls. It's just little dewdrops, whatever they're called. I just love them. They're so pretty. the finished layout. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial as well. Just remember that you can use any flowers, colours that you like for this. I just really wanted to bring some colour into the very neutral pattern paper. So just those pops of colour I feel give it a bit of life, and the butterflies help draw that back in. There is some of that colour in the strips of paper, but not very much. And yeah, so I just love the idea of the pops of crazy vibrant hot pinks and stuff. I hope you've learnt a lot to take away from this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on the forum. See you later.